Hey, happy Sunday and good morning, congregation, and welcome once again to the Church of Call It What It Is. I'm your pastor, Earl Partridge, and you may want to put down those life manuals because today we're going to be calling some of the most common religious concepts what they actually are, and I don't want you to get confused. Let's start with one of the scarier sounding concepts, spiritual warfare. In religious terms, spiritual warfare is framed as the external and internal age-old battle between God and the devil, named Satan. It's angels versus demons out there, and temptation and sin versus righteousness and holiness in here. But if we peel away all that high fantasy sounding story, what are we left with? A struggle between suffering and not suffering. So let's call that struggle what it really is, not spiritual warfare, but believing stuff versus not believing stuff, programming versus deprogramming. The irony here, of course, for religious folks is that for as long as you believe that there's such a thing as spiritual warfare, you're going to be in it and suffer. Whereas if you were to challenge it, question it, drop it, and call it what it is, it's over. Life gets a whole lot simpler when you don't have to contend with all these evil entities that are out there and in here, right? Which brings me to my next two religious concepts, evil and good. Evil, of course, being dark, malevolent, bad forces, and good being benevolent light. But again, doesn't that sound a little bit too J.R.R. Tolkien for the 21st century or even the 20th century? So why don't we call what religion calls evil and good what it really is? Unconsciousness and consciousness. But even that sounds a little bit too spiritual still, doesn't it? So let's make it even simpler and more specific. Unconsciousness means believing stuff in order to repress emotions, and consciousness means questioning and challenging your beliefs in order to resolve and come out of emotional repression. And so again, believing in good and evil instead of calling it what it is keeps you in unconsciousness and thus trapped in evil, if we're going to call it that. Here's another one that's very similar, sin. In religion, sin is an action, thought, or state that separates you from God. But we're adults here, and that sets up the same dynamic that children have with their parents. I gotta follow the rules to get their love and approval. I gotta break the rules to get their attention, understanding, and forgiveness. So how about we abandon the parent-child model and call sin, or the root of suffering, what it actually is? Belief plus repressed emotions, which means that your belief in sin, along with your belief that you have to be saved from that sin, is a sin. Which leads us right into our next concept, salvation or being saved. Here's one of the first questions that I ask people when they're working with me to deprogram from their religious upbringing. Why do you need to believe in sin, and why do you need to believe in salvation, or why do you need to be saved? To which they usually reply, well, I want to go to heaven after I die. I want to have eternal life. Yeah, but what are the qualities of heaven, right? What would it feel like to be there? Would it be safe and loving? Yeah, it would. So what you're really looking for by believing in sin and salvation is safety and love. Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, why can't you have that right now? Well, for one, because I'm believing in sin and salvation, among other things that are keeping me emotionally repressed. So why don't we call salvation, or the finding of safety and love, what it actually is? Deprogramming and resolving your own emotional repression. No rules or arbiter of rules necessary. Both are part of what's keeping you suffering. Last but not least concept, truth. Religion claims to have cornered the market on truth, but guess what? That claim is a belief, and guess what beliefs keep you from experiencing? Truth. Truth's the result of challenging and questioning your own beliefs in order to come out of emotional repression. But for Christ's sakes, don't take my word for it. Check your own body. That's where you'll find the experience of truth, folks, inside of yourself, namely your body, which is what your programmed mind or your belief systems are trying to keep you from experiencing. If you'd like to experience it anyways, then tap the link in the caption of the bio.